and welcome to Embrace the Moon Tarot and your March 2018 Tarotscope. So as I was shuffling, I just got an overall sense of feeling befuddled and frustrated, and I actually got a bit flush. So kind of like when you get embarrassed. I don't know who that resonates, if it resonates with all of you, most of you, or some of you, but yeah, there was a moment where I was actually even kind of flushed, and it wasn't with irritation, it was kind of on the lines of feeling embarrassed. So these are a bit of the energies that I feel is being sensed, whether it's one, two, or more combination, or all three, and whether it's by all of you, some of you, I'm not quite sure, but that is the energy that I was tapping into as I entered into this, as I was shuffling for this particular reading. And I'm going to go ahead, and we have the four corners that I usually go with, which is the mind, physical, emotion, and spirit or passion. And then I added strength, obstacle, and present, and I'm going to go ahead and connect with present energy, and we have the Justice card for the present energy. And I feel that this is very much predominantly in the beginning of the month of March, where there's just an overall sense that you are internally vocalizing a demand for justice. So something has occurred that you feel is injustice, not fair, unfair. It's frustrating, it's irritating, and it's kind of like, I don't even want to talk about it. That's what I'm tapping into. I don't want to talk about it. I am just so flustered and angered. Ooh, there we go. I am so flustered and I'm so angered by this. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to think about it. I can't process it. But in the moment of saying that, there's this desire to process it. But every time the moment of trying to begin the processing impact or the processing process, I immediately get hit with, nope, don't talk about it. No, I'm not. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm so frustrated. I'm so angry. I don't want to process. So whatever it is, it feels like there has been some sort of injustice, and it's really got you flustered and a bit angry and a bit embarrassed. I'm not quite sure how the embarrassed part kind of factors in, but that was an undeniable energy at the beginning of the reading, so I have to still point it out. So there you have. So that is the beginning energy. That is what you're entering in with at the beginning of the month of March. I don't feel that this is going to be an energy that is through the entire month of March. Whatever it is that occurred, or at least the heat of how you feel regarding it, it will dissipate as you move through the month of March. I feel that there's going to be some sort of walking away. I'm not sure. That probably depends on each person and each person's scenario as to what the walking away and moving on actually equals. But as you progress through the month of March, somewhere around, it feels like the second week of March, there is going to be a bit of a shift or a change or a walking away. I'm not saying that justice is going to be served as much as moving on is going to occur, however that may equal for each and every one of you. Mentally, we have a page of wands, and so there's a desire of a specific action to happen. And again, I feel that this is linked to that sensation of injustice that you're feeling as you enter into the month. It's the desire that is consuming your thoughts. It's kind of like when you experience something and then once you walk away from it, or you're no longer in the present or in the moment, you're able to rehash out the scenario and you can think of all the things that you would have said, that you wish you could have said. It is also the same kind of sensation of what you wished would happen to somebody. Whenever you feel this injustice, and you feel that such an unfair scenario has occurred, we allow ourselves to be tantalized with these thoughts of, if this happened, it would serve them right. So I just feel that this is where the Page of Wands is coming in. There's just this desire of seeing some rooted action to occur. And I don't feel that this is the deepest heart's desire as much as this is just what you're kind of going with to help you process the emotions. Um, just, don't let yourself be too consumed with this. Um, if it helps you to heal and move on, that's one thing, but don't let yourself get too consumed with this thought process. There are bigger, better, more fulfilling things that you can kind of tap into mentally that can help you move on. But definitely, as a result of whatever it is that occurs, we definitely have some thought processes of like I said, just kind of tantalizing fantasies of how you either wished it went down, or all the things that you could have said, all the things that could have happened, or how you think karma could be best served. Moving away from that, in the physical realm, we have balance. And this feels, again, somewhere towards still the second week. And this might actually be the thing that allows you to kind of move from whatever occurred or that experience at the beginning of the month. But you're going to get to a point somewhere in the middle of March where things get to come together as far as balance are concerned. And I don't know if it's so much that you feel karma and justice has actually been served as much as the thing with karma is a lot of times we have this preconceived notion of what karma should equate. The whole tit for tat. So we feel like we can define what the universe should be laying down as far as karma, what karma should equate. But I feel like this is going to be a bit more of a recognition of what karma can be. So sometimes it's not so much that someone gets their just views as we perceive it should happen, as much as we get to a point in our lives where we realize that we were just given something and that's a good karma as a result of something. And sometimes that good karma that we receive is because of what was stolen from us when an injustice was served. So I hope that makes sense. So there's something that's going to occur somewhere towards the middle of the month that's going to make you feel like things have finally balanced out properly. It's not perfect, but it's the kind of perfect that's good enough to make you feel like you can move on. And in the emotional status, we have the Two of Cups, and it's about connections. And I feel this is just kind of resonating with that Two of Pentacles that's sitting in the physical realm. When you feel that whatever it is that has things kind of balanced and coming together, you're able to start making the emotional connections that you need to make to help yourself move on. And it's that's the type of emotional connection that you can start healing from, that allows you to let go of those Page of Wands thoughts that you'll be kind of tantalized with in the beginning of the month. You'll be able to kind of release those thought processes, connect with the heart, and like I said, it's the kind of connection, the balance that you'll see kind of unfolding in front of you and for you, that allows you to make the proper connections within your heart to be able to heal yourself. And it's not so much that you'll heal and forgive and move on and you'll forget that this ever happened. That's between you and your higher self, your deity, the universe, however you might refer to that as. But it's more on the lines of, it's the sort of connection that allows you to mend your own heart and move on. Because of this, there's a bit of a stall in the passion realm. And I feel this is in relation to just, it feels work related. So something that has to do with work gets a bit stagnant. And I was mistaken. It's not necessarily as a result of this. It can be, I spoke too soon when I said that. So it's probably one of those things where some of you it can be related and some of you can't. But for whatever reason, during the month of March, there's a bit of a stall as far as career and passion is concerned. And so I feel, though, that it's not something that is heavy on your heart. It's not something that you even notice or pay too much attention to because of everything that's else is going on. But there's just a moment of patience. There's a feeling of waiting that comes with this. So personal passion and drive kind of comes to I don't want to say standstill, because that completely knocks me into the concept of stagnation, and it is not stagnation, it's just patiently waiting. You have all of your ducks in a row, and it's just not something you feel you have to focus on right now. You're at a place where it's not needing your attention, it's not needing you to fuel the fire, it's taking care of itself. So you're just waiting for when it needs you to do whatever it is that you need to do. So as far as passion is concerned, what drives you, there's just an overall sense of it's not a focal point for this particular month, and you're actually okay with it. In fact, if I hadn't brought it up in the reading, you probably wouldn't have even noticed it, because it's just not in the forefront of your thoughts. Your strength for the month is the King of Cups, and it's really about mastering your emotions. So I feel this is really kind of tying into that Page of Wands that's sitting in the mental realm, sitting in as far as what your thoughts are going to be heavily filled with in the beginning of the month. And you're being asked to make sure you master your emotions. So as long as these are all just thoughts that are going through your head and you haven't connected the emotions with it, you'll be able to blow them away. They'll be, they'll just up in the air, up there, kind of, sifting around like clouds, and a good, blow over or a good hot sunny day will burn through the clouds, and it'll be like it never even existed. No big deal. But the moment you start bringing up the emotion, it would be like evaporation. It'd be like the sun coming up and actually bringing the waters up and filling those clouds up till they brew into a storm. That's not what you want to happen. So as long as you maintain just these thoughts and then see them for what they are and then brush them off and let them go, no big deal. You start bringing up water and adding to those clouds, they can become storm clouds, and you're being asked to master your emotions. That is your key strength for the month. Try to not get too emotionally invested in what you perceive karma should enact as a result of what occurred in the experience at the beginning of the month. Work through it however you need to mentally. And the emotional aspect comes in if you can heal yourself. But if you're bringing in the emotional aspect to brew a storm, take control of that. That's your strength. Make sure that the emotions don't overrun and brew a storm. Your obstacle for the month is the Emperor. And this feels... instability comes to mind. And I feel that this just, again, is speaking predominantly about that beginning of the month, whatever it was that you felt that there was an injustice, whatever it was that made you feel flustered, frustrated, and a little hot in the face, is going to make you feel like, the ground has been shaken underneath you, and feel a bit unnerved, and feel like the foundation has been, a bit unstable. And that's, again, where the whole concept of, getting control of your emotion, because don't let this experience define you. Don't let this experience define your foundation. Don't let this experience define your core values, the core part of who you are. You're being asked to, again, be master of your emotions and take control of them so that they don't control you and brew a storm that keeps coming up. So the obstacle is really trying to figure out how you can process this experience and what it has made you feel and what you can do with it so that you don't let the entirety of it define who you are, who your core values are, what your foundation is, so that you can remain stable in who you are. This experience, whatever it was, doesn't define you. It does not define your foundation. It does not define your inner truth. So don't let it do that. Don't get so unnerved Don't let it brew a storm, so much so that it weakens the foundation. So that's your obstacle. If you master your emotions with that King of Cups energy, you're going to be able to kind of keep that at bay and keep it from getting too unsettled. And remember, you're going to get to a point where some of the emotional connections that you're seeking and that balance that you desire, it is going to come for you. Just work through it, process it, and just be the king of your emotions so that you're nurturing yourself properly, healing properly, but not weakening the core foundation of your personal values. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull a final card to kind of wrap it up and bring it all together. Sunflower, expansion and new opportunity. So I feel this is really tapping into that change that's going to occur, that's going to really help you feel that things are getting better balanced, making those emotional connections that allows you to see karma in a different light. And with that, it's going to open up new doors for you. And for some of you, I feel this actually is connecting with emotional opportunities as far as an emotional love connection. And for the rest of you, it's just an opportunity to see things from a perspective that you hadn't considered before. That's actually going to make that foundation so much stronger and feeling a bit more stable. All right, that is all I have for you, Taurus. I hope you have a wonderful March. Make it a great one, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.